My name is...
Florence, let me hear that again.
Yeah, I mean, when I mean, he has the looks of a young Bruce Wayne, especially his jawline, which is very
Yeah, he does.
discernible for a Batman character.
Hmm.
And I believe he did a phenomenal job physically, at least because the fights were in that movie were very like it felt like they were real. Like it felt like they weren't. It kind of felt a bit too real because
Yeah,
you really
it
actually
does.
felt the blows through the audio and the screen.
Hmm. Yeah, it really felt like him being the Batman when he puts the cape on. It really feels like he's actually playing the Batman, like how it's supposed to be. Unlike let's say Ben Affleck, who has in his way he does kill. Ben Affleck does kill and actually uses guns when he was fighting against Batman in the Batman vs Superman movie. But this movie, we see that um this Batman is sticking to his rules, sticking by his codes of not to kill and not to use guns, which maybe might change in the future. I mean, probably. I mean, well, this is obviously portraying as a young Batman, so he knows that he must start things and do things right for the time being.
I mean, comparing him to the other Batmans, like the other now, in my opinion, there's two main Batmans that everyone's familiar with. That's Christian Bale and Ben Affleck. I think I consider him. If I was to place him between, if I was to like rank the three, well, this is my opinion. I would place him, I guess, above Affleck, but just slightly below Bale.
Okay. And the Christian Bale, the actor is from the Dark Knight series, right? The trilogy?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, for me, now I don't really think Ben Affleck did a bad job as playing Batman, but again, as some people had some problems, including me, that I guess in the beginning when he was introduced, he was this guy, this Batman who pretty much drew all his codes and started killing people. Well, not killing people, but when he confronts a villain, he at times does do bad things, like sometimes kills the people or seriously injures them, and uses guns.
Well, if I was to, well, I think Pattinson displayed like the very early version of Batman in a way because this is his very first Batman movie, so I believe they're probably going to make a part two that will continue the series. But you got, well, I mean, I get it, and a lot of people were a fan of Batfleck, but I kind of liked him because in the situations that he was in, that's really his only options. For example, remember the in Batman versus Superman when he was saving Martha, he had no choice but to use way more force than he normally does in that situation.
Oh, what's her name? Superman's
Because he was,
mother.
yeah, he was trying to save Superman's mother. So,
Yeah,
and when he broke into the warehouse, he definitely had to use more force because they were holding a hostage, and these men were way more dangerous than your average street thug.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'll give him that. True. I give him that. I mean, that guy. I think he came in. He came to the warehouse with a freaking plane. What's it called? The Batwing. Is that what they
Yeah, I
call
believe
it?
so. I think it was called the Batwing.
Batwing, Batplane. Nah, yeah, yeah. Pretty sure it's called Batwing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I mean,
let's see.
if now
Yeah,
comparing him to Bale, this one is kind of tricky because Bale's Batman wanted to take on a more, I guess, dystopian future type of Batman in a way because it mostly actually I think Christian Bale's performance was great, at least physically, and he kind of portrayed it. But my
yeah.
only issue with that movie was that Bale wasn't really the center. The Batman that Christian Bale played wasn't really the center point.
Wait, like which movie? Like the second movie, the first movie, third movie, or like
Like all three of
trilogy?
them. Because in the Pattinson one, they really focus on Pattinson's point of view. In the
Yeah.
Baleverse, they mostly focused on the people around Batman. Like we got there were
Mm-hmm.
I think there was more screen time with Joker than the Batman himself in the
Yeah,
Dark Knight.
Ledger's Heath Ledger's one,
Yeah.
and the other one was Bane, right? The last one.
And Bane and Two-Face.
Oh yeah, Two Face as well. Wait, wasn't
Mhm.
Two Face on the second one?
I believe when with Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, and so yeah, I would say like Christian Bale was a good Batman, but I think like the movie kind of those movies really focus more on the villains, which isn't a bad thing, but in this Batman movie with that Batman movie with Pattinson, he really did portray the the Batman well, especially like during the beginning where he was more of a detective compared to Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was just there as part of like this Justice League while not doing any like detective work, whatever.
Yeah, I think Pattinson kind of portrayed the best comic accurate version of Batman.
Exactly. And so he really did portray it well. I really like that since it was the beginning of his origins on doing that.
And I think that they try to they try to rush the Justice League too much.
They really did, yeah. It was pretty much a bit that project was a whole abysmal.
Like Ben Affleck, he had to work with what he got. It's not really the
Yeah, it
director's
wasn't really
fault.
his fault.
Snyder knew what he was doing. It's just that the Warner Bros.
The
Were pushing
yeah,
for the Justice League movie.
yeah. The Warner Brothers, they were impatient with all this. They want to happen
Yeah,
just like that.
Like for Batman's character, he would need at least another film. For Batfleck's character, at least they would need
Hmm.
at least another film. Like he needed a solo movie.
Yeah, definitely so.
Like um, that's why a lot of people don't like him. But to be honest, Batfleck probably had the most potential, in my opinion.
He did.
But
He did.
yeah, he did. He had like the most potential out of Bale and Pattinson, but
Hmm.
unfortunately, the studio got involved too much.
Yeah, they really had to do him like that. And so, with that
Because
said, because what?
one more thing I like to add, because let's be completely honest, if all three Batmans were in a 1v1 fight, pretty sure Batfleck would win.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, for sure, without a doubt, for sure.
Yeah.
I
All right,
mean,
we're
what's
moving
it
on.
called? Yeah.